Let us now deploy this container application, but instead of using HTTPD 2.4 image, we're going to use an image that we're going to pull from the ECR repository. ECR is Elastic Container Registry, is where you can store different Docker images, and then you can pull them from there and use them to create containers. So right now, I have here my CLI. It's right here. And the first thing that you have to do is download Docker to your computer because you're going to be using your CLI from your computer. So you can type download Docker and you can get it from here, docker.com, and then you can um, download it from here, Docker Hub, get started for free. Let me see if we can find a better for Mac and Windows. So here you have for Mac and Windows and Linux as well. But Mac and Windows as the main ones. You can download it from here. So once you have Docker installed, then you can go ahead and build an image. So you can say Docker. So I have created um, some files here that they contain some information. So I'm going to show the files here. They are here in my VS Code. So I have a public HTML index that contains some information here. Hello from custom Docker image. This image is running on ECS. Here's some information about this container and tasks. So I have a Bootstrap script that says echo, and then it's going to um, echo this pre to this HTML file, and then it's going to curl this ECS container metadata URI that contains the data about the container, the Docker container, and it's going to move that here to this index.html. And that's what's going to show in the browser. Then it's going to use this tag tree again. And I have a Docker file that contains several steps here from HTTPD 2.4. We're going to create that from that. It's going to be an HTTPD image that is going to be built into an image that we're going to create. And then it's going to run this code for us. It's going to copy this to this directory, and it's going to add this bootstrap. It's going to run this, change the permissions of the bootstrap, and then it's going to execute this bootstrap. It has some ECS configuration here, ECS my cluster, and the data here, everything that we need. The name of the cluster is not, this is just the configuration file. The steps are here, and then we're going to do that in the CLI. So the first command that we have to do, or first we have to move to where that file is. So it's going to be desktop, and then we're going to move to, well, actually we are on the desktop already. So we're going to move to module 12, and then in module 12 we have container ECS LS. So we're going to move to ECS, so CD ECS, and then we do ls, and we get all these files. So this is where we're going to build the image. So we said docker build -t demo, and then we're going to build that in this directory. So we do this. It tagged the image successfully. Now we're going to go back to the CLI or the console, and we're going to click on repository under ECR. So we're going to create our first repository, and this is where we're going to store the image. So we're going to call it demo. We're going to create a repository, and this is going to be the URI that we're going to use. So we click on demo, and then demo, we're going to click here on view push commands. So these are the commands that we're going to use to first log in into Docker, and then we're going to push that image. So the first command is ECR get login password. So we're going to copy this, and we're going to paste it here. So we say this, and it's going to log us in. So it says here, login succeeded. So this is to retrieve an authentication token and authenticate your Docker client to your registry. And then we're going to build your image, Docker image, using the following command. So we're going to say build demo. Copy this. And then we're going to click on this. This will, after the build completes, you're going to tag your image so that you can push the image to the repo. And then we're going to push the image to the repo. So we're going to copy this. So it's pushing the image, and we will be able to see it here. Okay. Not yet. Still pushing. So now if we refresh this, we have the image here. So this is the latest image here, the URI. We're going to copy it. And then we're going to go back to ECS. And in ECS, we're going to create a new revision of the task definition. So we're going to say here, task definition. We click a new revision. And then we scroll down and we click here on container. And instead of using HTTP colon 2.4, we're going to use the URI of the image that we just created. So we say update, and then we're going to create that. Now HTTP 16 has been created. You may have a different number here. So we click on cluster, and then we're going to click on service. We're going to update the service. We're going to use 16, which is the latest version. We're going to go ahead and next step, next step, next step, and then update service. So that will update our service. Right now, our service is being updated, and we have a primary deployment and an active deployment. So it's going to be working on that. The tasks that we have right now, we have 15. And then the events we have here that the service HTTP service has reached a steady state. Let's see what's going on here. Right now we have 16 and 15. Remember that this is using a rolling update. So it's just deploying both deployments at the same time. So what I can do is, because this will take time, what I can do is come back to cluster and then click on the service, run tasks, go back to cluster, and then run tasks, and then just be a little brutal and delete the 15 ones. So I can do that. 15, 15, 15, 15, and stop the 15 ones. And that will stop my my running tasks. Okay, so right now I still have my service that has 4. These are tasks, running tasks. I can go ahead and get the load balancer DNS and paste it there, and I should be able to see the same. It works as before. So right now is working, but instead of using the HTTPD colon 2.4 image, we're using an image that we pull from the repository, the ECR repository, which is a very good way to um, deploy Docker containers. So we get that image, we have it here stored in our private repository, and then we can pull it from there and create our own containers. So this is how you can create your containers. As you can see, now we show the HTML file that we had created before with the information. So we have all of this, and if we go back to our guy here, the bootstrap, the HTML1, so we have hello from Docker image. It's what we have here. And we see this image is running on ECS. Here's some information about this container. It's right here. And then what is in between is what we put here. We get the metadata from the container, that's the metadata, and we add it to the index HTML file, which is here. And that's why we get this beautiful information here, the Docker ID, the name is this, Docker name, and image ID, and this is the image that I'm using here. The container ports, I'm using 80, and as it is dynamic port, forwarding is using just a dynamic, a random port. And we have the labels here, Yellowtail EC cluster, HTTP, the definition, the definition version is 16, is the one that I used. These are status running, limits it's 2 CPU, 200 memory, and created this, started this, type a working bridge, and IP4 addresses 172.17.02. So this is how you deploy a Docker container using a custom image that I can pull from ECR. So I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next video.